Joe Burrow, no big controversies for him to avoid. They made him available yesterday during phase 2 for an off-season press conference. Here he is on his recovery from the wrist injury that wiped him out last year and his addition of muscle for the 2024 football season.
I think I'm fully cleared for everything other than contact right now. That'll come in the next month probably, but it's no rush. Season doesn't start for a while, so we're in a good spot. Yeah, we're bigger, definitely bigger. We'll see where I'm at the end of the offseason. I feel good about where my body is at right now. I'm going to continue to get stronger and bigger throughout the offseason and just kind of play it by ear depending on how I feel. Like I said, I'm in a good spot right now. I'm really strong, bigger than I was. We're going to continue to eat right, lift, and go through my routine and see where I'm at. I've always been able to get up and go to work and make sure that I'm going to be where I need to be to perform my best. That's my why is always just continuing that drive for greatness, continuing that drive every day, trying to improve. I'm addicted to getting better, and that feeling. There's nothing like the feeling of getting better, because that makes the day-to-day really worth it.
That's a great point. In anything you do, if you can consciously become aware of the fact that you are improving, you enjoy it more. You understand you're getting results for all the stuff that you're doing.
Right.
He doesn't quite have the Trevor Lawrence neck, and we've noticed there's like a lot of guys now with that big giant neck with a head popped on top of it. But, he's still, and we miss seeing and hearing from Joe Burrow, he's still got that grown-up Macaulay Culkin vibe, and it's kind of like grown-up Macaulay Culkin decided he's going to start going to Planet Fitness. That's kind of the vibe that we're getting from Joe Burrow right now.
Yeah, I think you're right. Again, I think he's, as we talked about yesterday, he's very self-aware, even as you see in that comment there. I think he's always evaluating himself and trying to figure out what's the best way, how can I be better, do all of that. He's a bigger guy than I think even people realize, right? It's an easy 220, 221, right? It's easy in that range somewhere. He might be more than that right now. Now that he's telling, I did put on a little, or we're a little bigger. Maybe he's 225, somewhere in there. Maybe it was skinnier, and maybe he's 221 again, like he was coming out of college. I'm not sure, right? But I think the big thing, too, is just like we talked about. There's only been one weakness to Joe B here in his career, and it's that availability. And he's got to find that a balance. And this is, not all quarterbacks have to do this, but he's rare in, hey, he's long, he's tall, right? He's got long arms, long legs, big hands, all of that. But he's got to find that blend of, big muscle armor, yet I can still move in the pocket and move around and be slippery and extend plays, right? Some guys don't have to worry about that, right? Brady wasn't a guy that had to worry about, oh, wait, I'm going to run around and move and do all that. So if he wanted to put a little extra weight on or do something like that, right, it wasn't maybe as a big of detriment to him, to just give an example. Joe Burrow, no, we know running, right? It's underrated in that category, and that's where, I went through some of these struggles. You got to find out what is that sweet spot to go, wait, I'm not too big and bulky to where I can't move and get out of the way, but I got something there to protect me. And, when I take my shirt off, you go, oh, whoa, there's a little more muscle there than I thought when his clothes were on, right? And I think that's what he's going to have to try to balance out here over the next 2-3 months as we get ready for training camp.
Yeah, you talk all the time about the natural body armor that a quarterback has. I remember years ago, Brett Favre stopped drinking soda and or beer with his meals in an off-season and just lost a lot of weight, and he was thinner, and he got banged around a lot. Still didn't miss a game, still found a way to keep going, but he realized it's a lot easier when you got more natural flesh on your frame to protect you against the wear and tear of playing in the NFL. So how much mobility do you sacrifice as you add that size?
Right.
Because as you're the person in the shell, in the body, it's hard to tell. Am I faster? Am I slower? how much bigger am I?
Yes. You
Can
don't
I still
know.
move the way I need to? Is
Right.
there efficiency in
Right.
the way my body is churning through the air? And to that point, Lamar Jackson said that he's lost 25 pounds over the last 2 years. He was 230 in 2022. He was 215 last season, and now he's down to 205. Allows you to move faster, but does it really protect you? Now, when he was larger, that's when he got injured. And last year he didn't get injured. So who knows what happens with 10 more pounds off of his frame in 2024. And I don't know how much of a connection there is to it anyway, because there's a randomness to the idea that somebody hits you. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
Sometimes you're injured. Sometimes you're not. You don't know until it happens.
No, and to your point, Mike, you're right. You got to kind of feel it out. You don't really know sometimes, right? I fluctuated a little bit. Like I said, I kind of struggled with this. Hey, I grew up in a household with Phil Simms where he was like, you need to be bigger and stronger and eat some more pancakes and bacon because Reggie White's coming around the corner and you got to stand in there and throw the ball with Reggie and Jerome Brown in your face, right? So I had a little of that in my brain, but I was also in this era of, now the game was changing a little bit and moving around was also a part of the game as well, right? And you didn't know sometimes where I had a year where the year I lost my spleen, I decided to be a little bit bigger. I did. And I thought I was just as athletic, but then the preseason games and the games started and you start to see yourself in live action when you watch film, Mike, to your point, and you go, I'm not moving as good. That wasn't me last year. I made that guy miss last year. I made that guy miss 2 years ago when I was 10 pounds lighter, right? And so you have to find that little way there to figure that out. And hopefully training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and all that, he'll be able to find that blend. Joe Burrow or Lamar, right? They have a little bit of a different skill set, as we know, but they got to find that. And with Lamar specifically, Mike, what I worry about is he's just doing it because of speed. That's what I worry about. He's getting, because I've seen this in an NFL locker room too. Getting a little older, I was always the fastest, and now people are saying I'm not the fastest. And I'm going to try to lose weight. And within that, sometimes you lose your muscle and your explosion and all that too. And I just hope that's not the case with Lamar Jackson, because we know we want to see him at his best.
Yeah, here comes Jaden Daniels, claiming he's
Right.
going to be the
Justin
best running
Fields.
quarterback of all time. Justin Fields in the division now.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta be fast. I gotta be faster, and one way to get faster is drop some weight. If you're carrying less baggage, you're gonna move faster with what you have, and that's not always necessarily the case. And
No,
it can
it's
get you
not.
in trouble because you may move a little faster, but when you get hit, and you have that reduced natural protection, that's when you may have a problem.
Yeah, you might have a problem there. You might, even though, hey, I might have lost some weight and I feel like I can run longer and I have better endurance, but that doesn't mean you necessarily have the same power or maybe the same explosion. Maybe your legs lost a little of that muscle in the thigh and the butt area that I'm talking about, and now you don't take off as well. Again, I don't think that's the case because he still looks muscular. Even when I saw him over in Germany playing football with the soccer players and doing all that, right? He is a specimen. But, yeah, again, I think he's another guy who's got to find that fine line. We know he's going to run the ball. He isn't scared to sit in the pocket and take hits and do all of that. And his game is a little more physical than the normal everyday quarterback. So what works for him? And yeah, we get down to 205, I start to go, ooh, that's maybe a little too skinny. But he knows himself, better than anybody, and hopefully he gets this right.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.